Alright guys, so a friend of mine actually decided that he was going to grab my board from me because I offered him my X70 board because I got it for a good deal and I knew he needed a board. I knew he was kind of he was a bit tight on cash and he doesn't have a lot of money to spend on upgrades. So I knew that this board would be a really nice thing to give him because it kind of fits his budget perfectly and everything. And I was just making some last minute checks just to make sure, like, of what I was telling him should happen. So what I was telling him was that he can wait a few weeks, maybe a month or month and a bit, and more than likely AMD would end up dropping prices. I'm pretty certain they will. Merslaw's Dead made a video where he talks about it because he talks about the distributor markups they're allowed to do and stuff like that, like MSRPs, the margins. Intel's margins right now are very slim. AMD's margins are very large. AMD is not offering a lot of value at the price point. At $300, you cannot be offering a 6-core. Like, 6-core makes no sense. Intel offering more cores, which was classically AMD's forte, offering more cores for less money. Now Intel's the one doing that. People somehow still don't have any, like, desire to use Intel. I honestly blows my freaking mind, dude. But this particular video and its comments really just, like, made me kind of think, goodness. Like, and same with this video by Hobnik and Nux, dude. Like, look, no disrespect, but this is a terrible title. Like, AM domination, what do you mean, dude? Like, so, by the way, in this particular video, the 12600K wins almost every single workstation benchmark type, like, slash multi-threaded benchmark, like, any sort of multi-threaded benchmark, slash Cinebench or whatever, it wrecks the 6-core from AMD, and then in games it's like a trade blow type thing. Like the AMD core, the AMD 6-core wins some games because of the IPC and stuff, and then in the clock speed, and like other games it kind of loses. It's a bit of a blow for blow thing. Plus it shows in these kinds of benchmarks I'll show you just now. But basically it's blow for blow, which makes sense because I mean it's 6 P cores for 6 P cores on both sides. Obviously AMD 6 cores are kind of a little bit faster overall because of clock speed and stuff and more cache. Intel 6-core has got 4 extra E-cores that make it much faster than multi-threaded applications, and Cinebench, and like 3D Mark, Time Spy, Fire Strike, it's way faster. So in terms of value-wise, you're getting a lot more money for your, you're getting a lot more out of your money for the Intel part. And that's not even considering the fact that Raptor Lake is coming in 2 weeks' time. Like, in 2 weeks' time, Raptor Lake will come at the exact same price point. Like, that's insane. And somehow people still do not, like... Okay, watch the video. Screw it, watch the video.
Here's why you shouldn't buy the upcoming Ryzen 7000 series CPUs. For all the AMD fanboys, just give me a chance to explain, okay? I myself am running a Ryzen...
So his demeanor, right? You're about to think, okay, this guy's about to spout some shill BS, he's about to be a fanboy. No, the points he makes are literally exactly correct. Like, just give him a chance.
950, 900X at the moment. Basically, the new CPUs are just gonna be too expensive for what they are. I mean, the 7600X Ryzen 5 is only gonna come with 6 cores for $299. At the same time, you can get the Intel i5 12600K for around $220.
Okay, so the mockups have changed, like the, I mean, not mockups, but like the deals have changed. So right now on Newegg, you can't actually buy the i5 at that price anymore, but you can still get it for cheaper than the AMD part. So if you come to Newegg, like you can do this, and you can go to Amazon as well. So on Amazon, okay, $277 is about the price. So yeah, it's about $280 on both platforms. So $280-ish is what you're paying for a 12600K. And then we'll just check the AMD part as well, just while we're here. In case it's dropped in price, you never know. They might have, come to their senses. Wow, I can't even find it. Are you kidding me? Who's buying this crap, dude? 3-star review. Come on now. Okay, look. If you buy the CPU and realize you wasted your money, you have no right to review 3 stars because the CPU is good. It's just the value doesn't make sense. But like, that's on you. That's on you, champ. Like, hell no. You can't be giving a 3-star review. That's not the CPU's fault, dude. Unless that thing came to your house like, well, I don't know, if it was DOA, you can just refund it, right? Because I mean, it's not even like a, I don't know, whatever. Yeah, so here we go, $300, too expensive. It's, it's a decent product, it's just too expensive. For what you're getting. So
There's a Newegg right now, and also run that with the cheaper DDR4 memory. These processors are going to be quite comparable in terms of performance, and Intel's chip will continue going.
So is he correct, by the way? So what did these actual results end up being? So we come to Cinebench, and it's no surprise. Our friend is getting smashed. Like, this is just domination, right? So, but obviously Cinebench is not a game, so we'll move on, right? You got a 7-zip, and we see it sort of matching the 12600K. I mean, yeah, matching it more or less, right? I'm not gonna bother with the RAM thing, because this thing should be tested with the fast RAM. I think this was tested with Expo, so to speak. I don't know. I don't care. Honestly, this chip we all know can run 7000, right? So, like, if I see this number, I don't care. Like, I'm not gonna be like, oh, it's RAM. I don't care. Like, if you max out the CPU at its maximum, like, 1-to-1 speed, which is the optimal config for Ryzen 4, versus this at its optimal configuration, which is, like, the max you can get out of Gear 2, right? Yeah, this would be way faster. Like, with 7000 plus memory, this would be way faster. And you're not doing 7000 plus in this chip because this chip has the 1-to-1 mode. The 1-to-1 mode inherently means that, like, its max mem will be lower, but its 1-to-1 is a strength. It's actually part of its feature list is you can do 1-to-1, right? The CPU is not capable of 1-to-1, which means you're going to want to max out Gear 2. Which is way higher than this. Like, this is very, very modest for an Intel chip, right? Like, Intel chips can do 7000 plus. Especially with ADI. So, the fair comparison would be if you want to max out, like, this at, like, 8000 ADI, and then max this out at 8000 ADI as well, and then you have to do Gear 2. You have to go 1-to-2 mode. And now, you've lost your IMC advantage. Now, you've lost your 3000 plus megas IMC, right? And would that be good? Probably not, right? Probably do worse then, right? So, yeah, well, I think this is a fair, like, slight win for the AMD chip, but it's more or less a draw. Like, it's pretty much a draw. We'll come down to more 7-zip. Honestly, I don't even know, like, but yeah. So, 12600K is getting beaten kind of handily right here. Right. Blender time. 12600K wins, so there's a win for 12600K on a benchmark again. It's winning again. Here we go. Pretty much equal, but, you know, slight win for the AMD part. This is weird, though. How is this scoring better than the i9? What? That makes no sense. But anyway, whatever. That's really, really strange. Oh, the i9. Sorry, I'm being dumb. i5 is all the way down here. Oh, okay, wow, okay. So, AMD stuff in Premiere Pro is doing really well. So, AMD stuff, okay, really, really well. Okay, fair enough, fair enough. Photoshop, it's winning by a sizable margin, so there we go, it's a good victory. Winning by a slight margin, very slight. We got Chromium, I have no idea what this is again. Losing, so yeah, the i5 is actually winning again. Now gaming, so... Wait, gaming? What's Factorio? This is a game, I don't know, whatever. It's winning by a decent margin, so fair win there. Yeah, we've got a draw. We'll move on. We've got a slight victory. Decent victory. Hitman, we've got a victory. Quite decent victory. Okay, these are all GB bound, whatever. This one's quite a good victory. Very good victory, actually. We've got a draw. We lost a draw. Okay, cool. A slight loss. Very slight loss. Decent victory. Yeah, decent. Actually, very good victory. Yeah, this is a really good victory. Damn, these numbers look like... Sometimes I wonder, because some of these numbers, like, they look very weird compared to other benchmarks, but, fair enough, okay. I guess it's... I mean, that seems weird, but okay. It's losing slightly in Cyberpunk. It's winning in Seto Corsa. Riftbreaker, it's pretty much drawing. CSGO, it's winning, but, I don't know. 1080p medium, I don't know. Does anyone play CS in 1080p? Not really. I would say it's fair if you do 1280 by 960 because then all chips will be above 700 frames, and then by that point you're hitting a engine bottleneck. But yeah, fair enough. If you play 1080p, then I guess you do get a victory here. So 12 game average. So yeah, it is faster for sure than the 12600K. But keep in mind, it does lose in terms of Cinebench and a few other benchmarks, right? By quite a decent margin. And if you come to this review from Tech Power Up, you get some more data. So we'll go to the first one, which is all the way over here. Synthetic. So now keep in mind, these guys did not enable, these guys didn't disable the equals and enable 512. So the Zen chips will always win, guys. You have to understand, whenever you look at Super or Y Cruncher, the Zen chips will always win if you did not configure 512. If you did 512, you would get much different results. Like Pi 2.5 billion on a 1200K, I don't know what 1200K is now, but like on a 1200K with equals off, like I showed you guys in the video before, it runs at like 50 something, 56 seconds, whatever. If you have a good config, like 5.2 gigahertz, decently fast, like 6200, like not even crazy fast, like decently fast RAM, and you're at like 56 or below, like you have almost like 59 seconds on like certain chips, right? Certain chips are like, so this is completely like irrelevant if you don't do it properly. Like then you can't look at these two metrics, they're just useless, right? Rendering, so here we go. Cinebench again gets bodied. Blender, it loses slightly, I think. Yeah, there we go, it loses very slightly. I mean, 20 seconds actually. Wow. Okay, but yeah, 20 seconds, I guess. So it's actually, so in Blend it's actually losing quite significantly. Corona, it's losing a little bit, tiny bit. Here it's losing a little bit again. So lower is better, so it's losing a little bit again. So 12600K is winning. V-Ray, it is losing to the 12600K again. So in terms of multi-core stuff, 12600K is really like it's really dominating. Again, 12600K wins again. Okay, here we go. I think this is more like, this is either AMD optimized or it's 512. One of the two. I think it's 512. Why do I say so? Because the 11900K is doing extremely well, which is almost never the case in anything. Like when the 11900K does really well, guys, compared to stuff that it should be losing to, usually it means 512. That's generally what it means. So I don't know, but I'm leaning towards 512. Next one, web browsing. No idea what this means, by the way, but I guess it's winning. So the AMD chip's winning here by a good margin, like a fair margin. This again seems like 512 because this, like, what the hell is this? How is the 1100K beating a 5050X? Like, what? Like, look at this, dude. This has got to be 512. This has got to be 512. Like, surely. Because, like, this should not be happening. But anyway. Web browsing. It's winning again. I have no idea what this means. No idea what this benchmark is. Again, these are winning. Where's 1100K? 1100K is right here between this 12 core and the 16 core. So again, weird benchmark. I don't know. Weird benchmark. Weird benchmark. Machine learning, low is better. So not 512 because obviously the 16 core is doing well. So not 512. Yeah, AMD's chips are doing really well. I don't know what's inside their logic, but I guess for this application and some others as well, they're doing really well. So in some workloads, AMD's chips are really like well optimized. I don't know if it's like optimization or if it's just like how the architecture is built, but whatever. Like some applications, the AMD chips actually do really well in. Some games too, like some particular scenarios, the AMD chips do extremely well in, like where they're just like destroying the competition. Here we've got the chip winning. No, it's losing. Is it losing? That's weird. Okay, well, it's drawing with PBO. It's losing with these configurations, but it's, yeah, I mean, it's more or less drawing, so we'll say it's a draw. Here's a win for the 12600K again. I can tell because it's lower on the chart. Science and research. 12600K again. 12600K again. Okay, and there it's a win for the Zen part. Okay. More Zen optimization stuff. Doing very well. It's winning here. It's winning here. Office Excel, weird. I don't know what. How do you benchmark Office? I don't know. Photoshop, it's all Zen. Zen is doing really well in Photoshop. Premiere Pro Zen does really well again. So these kinds of workloads like Photoshop, Premiere Pro, like Zen chips are destroying. Same year again. Okay, actually no. After Effects for some reason. So why in After Effects does Intel start catching up? Weird. I don't know how this works, dude, but whatever. I guess in After Effects somehow the i5 just comes back. I don't know how that's possible, but whatever. It is what it is. It's winning here, which is impressive, and then keep going. More Zen optimization, so more Zen stuff, more Zen optimization. Intel comes back. Oh, I know this is getting boring, guys. I'm just trying to go through everything. AMD optimized. Good stuff. Like AMD optimized again, good stuff. Intel comes back all of a sudden. Java. Intel still wins. Weird. So Intel wins Java as well, and then 12600K is drawing more or less, pretty much a draw, right? Going Intel wins. It's about a draw, but I would say AMD wins slightly. And there it's a fairly sizable win, right? Sizable win. Next one, AMD wins by a... Oh, I mean, this is a weird benchmark. But, yeah. More AMD. Again, weird benchmark. Why do I say so? Because this is beating this. Weird. Like, this should not be beating this. It's very weird. When I see this, I think weird. Weird benchmark. Probably 512. Weird benchmark. Shouldn't be happening. Keep going. Intel wins again. Somehow. AMD optimized again. Media encoding, last one. Intel wins. AMD edges out the victory by a few seconds. AMD again wins, and this time by a fairly good margin. I think. Oh no, I'm wrong. They lose. In H.264. H.264, the Intel wins again. Wow. Okay, interesting. MP3 encoding. AMD wins. Okay. Game 720p. So, literally, draw. Stock, Orca OC loses. PBO Max wins by literally 0.4%. So, draw. Absolute draw. 720p draw. I'm not going to go through all the benchmarks because what's the point? Oh, I guess I can. Screw it, but okay, fine, I'll do it. Intel wins here by a margin. Intel loses by a very slight margin. Well, no, 20 FPS is quite deep. No, 20 is quite big. Borderlands, draw-ish, draw. Civ 8, oh, sorry, Civ 6. Intel wins. Next one, CSGO, AMD wins. Cyberpunk, AMD wins by quite a good margin. Which is weird, because in some benchmarks I see it losing, but I don't know, whatever. Wins in this one. Doom Eternal, AMD wins again by a few FPS. Just a few FPS, maybe 4. Elden Ring, AMD wins by like 4 FPS. Far Cry 6, Intel wins by a good margin, like 6 FPS again, versus PBO Max. Next benchmark, Forza Horizon 5, AMD wins by about 3 FPS. Red Dead 2, Intel wins by a good margin. Watch Dogs Legion, Intel wins by a good margin. This is about 20 FPS. I don't know. And again, other benchmarks show different results. I don't know. In this one, Intel's winning by 20 FPS, so whatever. I don't know. Weird. But I like Tech Power Up. I've always found the benchmarks very, very good and thorough. I just like them, but I mean, you're allowed to disagree, but I've always found the benchmarks the most accurate, and they have the biggest range of testing. Like they test everything. So, I genuinely trust their results more than other reviewers because they tend to have better like procedures. 1080p. Intel is winning completely. Interesting. I'm not going to go through the individuals. I'm not going to go through individuals this time because there's no point. So in 720p, Intel was losing by 0.4%. 1080p, Intel is winning by, again, like 0.3%. So like just a draw basically. A draw in both races, in my opinion. 1440p, Intel is drawing. This is a draw. It's 0.2%, guys. That's a draw. Go down to 4K again. It's basically been a draw for all three because it's like point whatever of a percent. Like it's less than 0.5% every time. 4K. Intel somehow was winning 4K again. 0.3%. So basically what we found is, in gaming, it's literally dead even. It's dead even. It's even Steven in gaming completely. And that's with the equals on. Equals on. Terrible memory speed. AMD with their expo memory. PPO max in some situations. Right? So if you try to tell me now, I'm an Intel shill or some shit, like, dude, like, I just went through all the numbers. Like, what the hell? Like, literally, you saw it, like, with your own eyes. Like, a lot of multi-core stuff Intel is winning. Some multi-core stuff AMD is winning. Stuff that AMD is optimized for, you can tell because there's tight groupings of AMD processors at the bottom. So it means, I think the bottom or top or whatever, so, well, their bottom is always the highest performance. So, towards the bottom of some benchmarks, there's always tight groupings of AMD stuff, and that means that those benchmarks are optimized for AMD stuff. Either it's the architecture or it's 512, but in some applications, AMD is just doing better overall. Like, in general, like, beating everything. Like, there's just AMD wins. Hands down. And then some stuff they're losing in multi-core. A lot of stuff. Important stuff too. H.264, After Effects, Cinebench, a lot of important stuff. And then in gaming, it's again blow for blow. So $20 discount is $20 discount. And you're still getting 4 more cores for your multi-threaded like usage of the computer, like just in general the pace of the computer, like how snappy it feels, how much tabs you can open. More cores is always better, always. We'll keep going.
Down in price as their new 13th gen comes out. And I mean 13th gen i5 is gonna have a total of 14 cores and very likely is even gonna be able to challenge the Ryzen 7 7700X.
Perfect stuff. It's all the way at the because now I can simply go do this. So I've already showed you guys the video that will, went up before this one, that the cheapest AM5 boards are the B650s from MSI, and the Dash P at 210 is like the absolute best value you can buy. That actually is still like a non-micro ATX board, and the X670 Dash P I had was my pick for a board, which is 290. It's a really good board, but it's 290, right? It's 290 for like a really good board. Now you can argue the board I'm going to show you now is not on the caliber, which is true. So we'll consider the Dash P, the B650 Dash P. That's still 210. Well, let's look at Z690, right? So what's your cheapest good option? Like on par with the B650 board from MSI, right? Let's look. So you can buy a Aero D4 for $172. That's $30, $40 less almost than the cheapest B650 board that is not micro ATX. And this, by the way, is a better board. This is definitely a better board than that board. Definitely. Compared to the Dash P, definitely. Here you can get an A Pro. Definitely at least on par with the Dash P. But again, this board right here is of good value, but I mean, fair enough. It's 40% clearance sale, so it's not exactly reflective, but these boards are going to be cleared because they are old stock now. This is on par, and it's way cheaper. This one's on par, way cheaper, way cheaper. And not just D4 boards, by the way. You can find D5 boards as well that are on par. So you can, for example, find like there should be one. Not to say you would buy D5, but if you wanted to, you could find D5 boards on par with the AM5 offering. So like this one, refurbished, yes, but 170 on par. D5, this one, the light Aorus Ultra ITX. They fixed the problem with the other one, like the non-light one that had problems with the PCIe slot. Good reviews on this board. It's a decent ITX. I mean, this is a nice looking board. It's ITX, but it's a nice looking board. Decent, like, gamery board with good feature sets. It's just ITX, but it's a good board, right? D5 support, $170. So you're saving $40, and you're still getting D5 support. And it's probably going to be on par with the dash P from AMD, from MSI. And again, if you want the default version, 150, right here, brand new default version. And then you want to talk about RAM, dude, default, whatever you want to consider. Like a 2x32 a 2x16 kit of BDI is $200. It's about on par with a Expo kit. If you want to talk about like cheap Hynix, like I showed you guys before, you could consider buying a 2x16 kit of like, I don't know, Micron or CJR, and you'll get about, you know, decent performance. But again, like I said, if you want to compare it like cheap Hynix for cheap Hynix, right, you want to be fair like that, cool, fair enough. Both are using D5, well, you just buy this board then, right? 170, and you're still getting $40 discount compared to the other board. It's a better board. A better board, $40 less money, right? So, yeah, like, there is no world where the i5 from Alder Lake is not a better value. It's a better value. It's $20 cheaper. It's got cheap motherboards. You can use D4 if you want. It's all around a better deal, right? Like, way better deal. So now, that's not even considering the 13600K. That's not even considering this chip. Like, this is not even... Like, this is not even going to be fair. Like, I mean... Dude, at this price, even at this price, right? $30 more, but you're getting 14 cores. 14 cores, man. 20 megs of L2. Right? 20 megs of L2. Like, this chip is going to absolutely demolish the AMD 6-core. Like, do you guys understand? Like, this chip is gonna... Like, if you're sitting right now watching this video being like, oh no, he's lying, he's just an Intel fanboy. Dude, this chip is going to demolish the 6-core from AMD. It's going to demolish it. Like, it's... This L2 boost is how they got the IPC up. Like, this L2 boost right here is not for nothing. Like, this is not... Like, let me show you, for example. Like, let me show you. So, no, I'm screwing myself now because I actually want to sell my 1200K, but let me show you guys. So some people are considering this is like, oh, the 3700K is like the 1200K is like match, right? No. This chip is an upgrade, right? Smaller die area, so, well, oh, bigger die area, sorry, bigger die area, so you know they've done something with it, right? I knew it changed. I don't know if it was small or big, but I knew it changed. So bigger die area, right? You're getting much higher clock speed. So obviously this is like, these are 1200Ks kind of clock speed numbers, right? But that's not impressive. That's not where it gets impressive. So first thing is obviously the IMC is improved. The next thing is, check at this. Look at that. 2 megs of L2 per core. 1.25 megs per core. That's a 16 core. This is a 16 core. 30 megs of L3 still, yes, sure. But more equal L2 as well. And you get some equal L1, which you did not get before. So this chip right here is an upgrade. It's an upgrade architecturally speaking. It's got like 10% IPC. The only downside is no 512 support at all, which is a massive L. Intel, what the hell? Like, what are you thinking? That no 512 support is what gives AMD even like an inkling of like, okay, consider it, because this not having 512 is huge. 512 is important, very important for some workloads. So the 13600K has more IPC than Alder Lake. This is not just an arbitrary like adding of cores, adding of clock speed. No, this is literally a better architecture. Like, it's got more IPC. Like, it's got more capacity to do work. It literally is a better architecture. It's not just some cores and some clock speed. So this CPU right here, 330, is going to absolutely manhandle the 7600X. And if you talk about boards, right? Yeah, sure. Now you're talking. Okay, now there's some more deals, right? So now you're getting more, you know, similar to AM5 pricing, right? But still, you still have options, right? You can buy this for 210. It's a good option for 210. I mean, this is a 220 board. This is probably better than the B650 board, right? I mean, probably equal, but whatever. Like, it's more or less equal, better. Look, check this. For 220, guys, you're getting 6800 plus. Like, dude, come on. Like, this board is more than capable. Like, look at this. Oh, this is cracked. Holy crap, look at this thing. It's Z790-A looking sick, dude. It's DDR4, but dude, look at this thing. Looks like a serious board. Okay, that's just my opinion. That's just not even... Forget about that, it's not relevant, but whatever. This board right here is a really good value board. This one as well. The Riptide. 230. Same type of memory speed. Much higher than Zen 4 supports on that board. At 210. And same VRM as the Tomahawk and the Edge use, right? Here's your budget option, right? And here's your D4 budget option. 210, right? So Alder Lake, Raptor Lake and AM5 have similar board offerings. That's true. That is for sure true. However, like, you're getting more out of your money for the board than what you're getting on AM4. Or AM5, sorry. Like, this is a better board for OCing. Like, so, yeah, like, board-wise, on par, sort of, because they're both expensive, right, like, on pricing and stuff. I mean, even here, you can see the carbon is the same price as the X670E carbon. Right, Tomahawk here is more expensive, but this one's, it's a high-end Tomahawk. It's not got those gimped pieces, like the gimped IO. The gimped IO on the 650 board makes it cheaper, right? This area looks kind of cool, to be honest. I like this. This is pretty nice. It's a pretty looking board. Anyway, yeah, and yeah, so if you're someone who, if I go to the comments, man, that's what bothered me the most, like, if you go, I love this, dude, I love these skits, bro. These skits kill me. Like, these skits kill me, dude. So, if you check the comments, like, I commented this, right, because this is what I thought of the video. I was like, yo, for sure. And then, dude, if you look at this stuff, dude, like, look at some of these comments. Like, dude, I'm sorry, man. Like, I don't mean to, I'm not trying to make an example of people, but, like, dude, this is just insanity. Like, dude, this doesn't make any logical sense. Like, so you're saying that you're not allowed to say that Intel has better value. You have to say the value of AMD's chips. Like, yes, it's inherently, yes, but not even, because you can buy the i5 12600K for like $280. A $200 5000 series AMD chips can be way slower in everything. Like, why would you buy that for $200 if you could buy the i5 for like $280, which is like objectively way faster in gaming and productivity? Like, why would you buy the the Ryzen 5 from 5000 series? There's no reason to. Like, so still. Dumb comment. Absolutely stupid comment. I don't get it. Doesn't make any sense. What does this matter? I can tell where he's going with this comment, and it's like, dude, it's still $80. Like, yeah, played yourself. Congrats, dude. Congrats, you played yourself. Congrats, you're a fool. You're a fool. Literally, you're fool. You're being fooled. Like, you're fooling yourself. Like, I don't know what. Like, where does, like, dude? I don't understand. Like, the man has outlined the blueprint of how to save money and get, like, comparable performance, and you're like, no, Intel shall. What does that even mean? Like, how, dude? Dude, this is, what does this even mean? Like, this is silly. Like, what? Like, what do you even mean? Like, dude, I honestly can't understand sometimes. Like, I wonder, like, yeah, 14 cores. Yeah, watch it smash it, though. Like, that's the thing. Like, it doesn't matter there's equals. Like, if the equals make it go faster, it makes it go faster. Like, right? Yes, you are. Yes, you absolutely are. Because the 4090 does not support 5.0. The 4090 does not support 5.0, you genius. Like, dude. And by the way, There is 5.0 on Alder Lake and on Raptor Lake. There's 5.0 PCIe slot 1 on like most Alder Lake boards. So what does this comment even mean? Like, did you know that most cheap Zen 4 boards do not have 5.0 on the first slot? Like, should I just comment that, dude? Like, no, all. It's all. Okay, let's move on. Fair point. That's a fair point. Vcash will be really good. Fair point, fair point. Fair point. Not wrong. He's not wrong. Fair point, fair point. Okay, you're crazy. You're crazy. You're absolutely... You're crazy. You're crazy. No, I'm not gonna be a dick. Relax, relax, relax. Fair point. Dumb comment. What do you mean? Like, what do you mean, dude? Like 20 watts, bro. Relax. Like that's a L comment. Like, what are you even saying? What? What? Dude, what do you mean? They were smoking 1200K. Dude, that's insane. Like, yes, in the 1200K loses to a more expensive chip in, like, multi-thread applications because it has less cores. Yes, that makes sense. The 1200K right now is a year old, and it should be marked down. And if you buy one for its marked down price of like about $500 to $550 on most days, it is literally $150 cheaper, which is actually means it's competing against the 12 core. It's not even competing against the 16 core. Like, the 1200K competes against the 12 core because it's priced the same as 12 core. Like, it is not $700. So how can it be competing against the 16 core? It makes no sense. It's like, oh, AMD is destroying the 1200K, dude, with the 16. It's like, yes, because it's at a higher like product SKU. What do you mean? Like, the 1200K does not compete with the 16 core. It competes with the 12 core in price. So therefore, in gaming, when the 1200K wins, it's like, that's its competition. It's winning in gaming against the 12 core. And in productivity, in a lot of benchmarks too, like Time Spy, Firestrike, like R23, it's winning. So, like, mind blown. And that's not saying Raptor Lake's coming soon at 590. Like, maybe like 630, right? But dude, like, I don't get it, man. I don't get it. It's just so weird. Like, why do they have this, like, desire to be oblivious to Intel's, like, performance? Like, it's like Intel just doesn't exist in their minds. It's like, oh no, Intel can't be as fast. Like, it's impossible. Like, dude, what? What? Dude, I can't even. Reasonable point. That's fair point. Fair point. Ah, okay, sure. No problem, dude. Yeah, facts. No, they don't. Fair point, fair point. Who cares? Yeah, anyway. So, what you guys can observe is that people that are AMD obsessed fanboys are insane. That's what you can observe. That there is a extreme problem with AMD fanboyism, and it is quite something to behold. It's like people who had Intel fanboyism and Nvidia fanboyism. Like, these individuals were the types of guys to be like, oh, AMD's hot and loud, probably buggy software, whatever, glitches, whatever, not optimized, whatever. All these very, like, low-level kind of, like, brushing aside excuses, like, you know, just silly, like, not really thought out, like, biases, but you know what, like, fairly reasonable and kind of half-rooted in truths, you know, like, the drivers on Radeon stuff does tend to be kind of up in the air, like, sometimes. They do kind of mess up drivers sometimes, optimization, etc. in certain games. Like, sometimes apps will just not utilize Ryzen or RDNA properly, whereas NVIDIA or Intel just seems to run much more, like, reliably, right? So, yeah, Intel-NVIDIA fanboyism is a real thing, but it's also very much like a quality of life convenience type thing, where most people just don't like how AMD tends to have bad optimization in a lot of cases. And that's not like to say AMD makes bad stuff. I'm just saying that in some cases, yes, there is a tendency for AMD stuff not to be optimized or not to be as reliable as Intel and NVIDIA stuff. So in that regard, the fanboyism was somewhat rooted in half-truth, right? This kind of delusional behavior is not in any way rooted in anything. There is absolutely no reason to, like, just think that way. It's like, it's got 14 fake cores. It's like, dude. It's like, does it matter if it wins? Like I'm baffled. Like, baffled. And then some of the comments were just like some of them are like, oh, get off the drugs, or oh, like, Intel paid you, or blah. It's like, dude, like, he presented you, like, legit facts, and you're, like, just refusing to believe it. It's like, it's insane. I hope the video I just made, like, I can show you the numbers, right? So I show you numbers from two different sources, and you can see this blows, like, blow for blow. I showed the pricing on Newegg and Amazon, like, showing you the comparisons between, like, the platforms and stuff, and Intel objectively is better value. It's objectively better value. And if you're trying to buy, like, the new stuff, so, like, the new gen stuff, objectively speaking, Raptor Lake will do you more for your money. Like, it'll be more expensive, yes, but it'll be a worthy upgrade. Like, 14 cores and much more performance than Alder Lake means that you should be well ahead of Ryzen at the same price, more or less. Not to say, okay, $30 more, yes, but it should be significantly faster, which means that $30 should be kind of fair, right? But when the 1260K goes instead of like $200, $250, see the problem? That's when AMD will have to consider dropping prices. And I think AMD will drop prices down to like $250. So, is there hope for AMD? Yes, absolutely. Yeah, so when they inevitably drop, this happens. This will happen eventually, pretty soon actually. We'll give it like 220-ish, maybe even. So this will be a weird one because it's a 14 core versus an 8 core, but this 8 core might still win. But it'll be like that, something like that, right? It'll be like this. Yeah, this thing is competing against the 13700K. Dude, bro, my goodness, AMD, bro. This thing at $550 versus a $410 13700K. Dude, good night, sweet prince. Like, this thing is getting bodied. Like, bro, it's getting bodied. Like, there's no way. Like, there's not even a $150. and it's losing, dude. That's insane. Like, bro, you can't make that up. Like, you can't make it up. Because the 1200K, like I said, is matching it more or less, right? It's matching it and beating it in a lot of applications. So, if this thing comes out at 450, this is literally going to destroy it. Like, it's going to be a no contest. So, it's 450, okay. This is literally $100. $100. Dude, this, I'm sorry, AMD. You're going to have to come down all the way to, like, 460, maybe. Probably 460, I would guess. Probably like maybe more like 480, right? Probably like 480. Might be more realistic. And then when the monstrous 599, well, it's not gonna be 599, it's like 630, right? So I'll go back to Newegg because they add markup, right? So more like this. 660, right? Okay. That's a bit steep, actually. That's a bit steep, I'm not gonna lie. That might be a problem. That might be a problem. Because... So, funny fact, this would be AMD's best value chip. Actually. Because... Yeah. If these are... if these are very close in pricing... this will win in gaming for sure, but in terms of productivity and stuff, I don't know. This could get problematic for Intel. If this is what they're, if this is what it comes out being at retail, in that regard, AMD could go like this, and they could just body Intel. Like, so if these prices happen, right, AMD will reclaim the crown, like 100%. So versus a 13600K at 330, like this will be the option. Like I'll recommend this for sure. This versus the Intel 8-core, I don't know. 450 is still a good deal, but or the Intel 16-core, but whatever. Like 450 is a good deal still. I mean, what does this compete with though? I don't know. I guess this competes with the 13600K. Yeah. So this one would be your like 13600K direct competitor. This would be your value option. This would probably be a better deal than the 13700K. If it comes out at 450, this will be a very, very good deal to just destroy the i9. Like, the i9 will be destroyed if this happens. Like, this could happen. And by the way, AMD can afford this, like, for sure. Like, they can definitely make this happen. Like, their margins are more than big enough. Like, guys, they make a lot of money. So, these could easily happen. Like, and if this happens, then AMD will be the best, for sure. I'll be like, yeah, for sure. If AMD does this, then they will be the champions for this generation, for sure. But yeah, so I hope this video was interesting, guys. But please do not fanboy for AMD. Please do not. I beg. Cheers.